Part 20. After listening Prince Duan's motivated speak, they changed their mind unknowingly. Now that the young men who have entered the camp have been training for more than a month. Is there any problem with Commander Mo? This is the question that Ming Yu is most concerned about. These young and strong seedlings are his reserves in the future. In the next few years, he will slowly select the most competent supplements from these people into the guard camp. In case it really arrives 2 or 3 years later, he will put this group of guards back in Beijing. And then he will be an empty shelf here, and he will not be able to justify it. There are also caravan escorts, so don't worry about using your own talents. Don't worry, Your Highness. Everything is going well. Mo Zhang nodded. The prince's method is very good, using the old to bring the new. These newcomers have quickly adapted to it. This subordinate will make arrangements. Please check these newcomers. Mo Zhang really knew him best, and one of Ming Yu's reasons for coming this time was to see how the training of these people was. This was the first idea he put forward. In fact, he was a little worried about whether it would be useful, but according to Mo Yang's report, the effect was still there. It's just that if he doesn't see it with his own eyes, he's still a little uneasy. When Xie Yishou was here, he naturally had to bring out the most elite troops, so he couldn't be looked down upon. Not to mention other things, these guards, after being subdued by Ming Yu, have been training according to the rules every day for the past few months. Ming Yu wanted to watch the recruit training, first to see how the progress was, and secondly to see if there were any good seedlings. Mo Zhang had already passed the order, and Ming Yu suddenly remembered what a Bing asked him to do. So he decided to implement it for him as soon as possible, and it was a matter, so he brought it up to Mo Zhang. A Bing, you have also seen the child. Since he is determined to learn his skills, this prince wants to let him come to you. You can take care of him and teach him skills. He has a master like you, and if he wants to come to the future, he will achieve success not small. Only then did Mo Zhang think of the skinny boy. He hesitated. My lord, I am busy with my affairs. I am afraid I will not take good care of it. Ming Yu smiled and said, but it doesn't matter, this child is so old. Now, he's quite sensible. It doesn't mean that you have to keep him by your side to take care of him all the time, and here is no better than other places. As long as the education in the general direction is correct, it will be fine if you don't go the wrong way. Boy, follow you. It is also an experience for the soldiers to beat and fight together. That's also true, but the minister's skills are limited, and there are not many who can teach. Mo Zhang blushed a little. He had never thought about teaching his disciples, and he was afraid of mistaking them. Ming Yu patted him on the shoulder. Isn't this prince still not clear about your ability? You don't have to belittle yourself. This matter is settled. In fact, this prince has another plan, that is, to find a few gentlemen to come over every time. He teaches soldiers every day. Teaching? Mo Zhang has never heard of a gentleman giving lessons to soldiers. The literati have always despised the generals, and the military generals also look down on these sloppy literati. How could it be possible to live in peace? Still teaching? Hi, thinking about it. This is again the result of His Highness's wild thoughts. Mo Yang's surprise was all on his face. Ming Yu saw through his thoughts at a glance, and it was inconvenient to say more at this time, and smiled. I just have this idea now, just talk about it. I won't talk about it today. Let's look at Commander Mo's training results of leading new recruits. He pointed to the field after he finished speaking. Commander Mo looked over and saw that the new recruits had already lined up. Ming Yu has also focused on the field. Mo Zhang had no choice but to swallow back the words he wanted to say, and also look towards the training ground. At this time, the recruits were walking in neat steps and gradually arranged into a square formation. It can be seen that the most basic standing still today is much better than the left and right sides when they first entered the camp. Following the slogan of the leading general, the weapons in the hands of the recruits were chopped, and stabbed. They were also trained to look exactly the same. This is better than Ming Yu imagined. I thought it would be good for them to form a good formation. It can be seen that Mo Zhang has indeed trained hard. These recruits are all the people of the village. They are simple and honest. They are just a piece of white paper. Training is like smearing ink on a white paper. If I don't understand it, I can't find the north like a headless fly when I train. However, as long as they are on the road, these people are much better trained than those veterans. If nothing else, just obeying orders is the most worthy of praise. In fact, for these people, everything here is good. They can eat and wear warm clothes and eat meat every day. In the past, this was something they never dreamed of. Their idea is very simple: whoever feeds them and clothes them, they will obey their orders. With this mentality, they worked hard, fearing that they would be one step behind, and if they were no longer in command, they would not have time to cry. Ming Yu was very satisfied. Very good. This is all thanks to Mo Commander. If you hadn't trained for this prince would have been helpless. Mo Zhang was overjoyed when he received Ming Yu's sincere praise, but did not show half of it on the face, just said humbly, "This is not the work of the minister, it is His Highness wise." Before he could finish speaking, Ming Yu waved his hand and joked, "Commander Mo is too humble to this prince. You are the right arm of this prince, don't belittle yourself." This evaluation was very high, and Mo Zhang was moved. How could he be able to follow His Highness? This life will definitely live up to the grace of His Highness. Chen, I will definitely live up to His Highness's cultivation. Mo Zhang knelt down to Ming Yu in salute, and his eyes became slightly moist. Ming Yu got up and helped him up, patted him on the shoulder. "Haha, if we monarchs and ministers get along with each other, maybe it will be a good story. How many people have been able to do this since ancient times?" However, Mo Zhang has a bold obsession in his heart. Yes, this will be the goal he has achieved in his extremely poor life. The ruler and his ministers will have each other, so that people in future generations can have Mo Zhang as a pawn after mentioning His Highness's name. No more regrets. Wang Si worked very hard, trying to make every movement of himself standard and powerful. He knew that the person sitting above and watching their training was the prince. He had never seen the prince before, and heard from a former guard camp veteran that the prince was the son of the emperor and a very honorable person in the world. So, they knew that the Lord was a great official. And even the biggest official here, Commander Mo, was there under him. The Lord is watching them, and they must show their best side so that the Lord will not be disappointed. Therefore, everyone is conscientious and does every action well. When they came to this training camp, they almost fell into a honeypot. They never imagined that there would be such a day. Since birth, hunger, panic, and wars are happening all the time, and they have never had such a peaceful and beautiful life. Wang Si was very fortunate. Fortunately, he decided to come here. If he listened to the elder brother, where would he be today? I can't tell. When he goes back, he must also persuade the big brother to let the big brother come too. In fact, where is he willing to go back? I just said that when I was called on the same day, I would train for 2 or 3 months, and when the slack in the farming season passed, I would let them go back after a period of training. But he also thought about it. When this side is called again, he will come again. It is better to stay here forever. He inquired about a piece of news. He heard that as long as the top few people with comprehensive training, they can have the opportunity to stay and become real soldiers. After he came here, He didn't do heavy work, he didn't get beaten or scolded, and he was trained by the veterans after eating and drinking. He does farm work on weekdays, and all he does is physical work. And this training doesn't matter to him at all. However, if you want to stand out, you have to work harder. Yes, he wants to stay, learn more skills here, and serve the prince. Wang Si was not the only one who thought so. When their drills came to an end, Ming Yu stepped off the stage and stood in front of them. His eyes swept across the group of young men with dark skin. Very nice, energetic, the best group of people he hoped to meet. Everyone straightened their chests when Ming Yu looked over. Everyone's heart is excited, the prince is watching them. They don't understand why the prince values them. But they knew that it was the person in front of them who gave them the opportunity to see a path different from that of the villagers. This group of people is simple and unpretentious, and all of them think that they can do their best to repay this person. Ming Yu nodded with satisfaction, he cleared his throat and said loudly, "You are doing well, I am very pleased to see you like this." The people below were silent. With a smile on his face, he continued, "Do you know why you are here? Why are you participating in the training?" Someone shook his head. At the beginning, he heard that they could eat and wear warmly and do not need to do coolies. They have had enough hardships with them. How can it be? Anyway, the idea of just a cheap life came here. But he didn't know what the prince asked them to do nothing and just train every day for what? Ming Yu looked at them and said in the most simple words they could understand. "This is the military camp, and here you will learn the ability to kill the enemy." He paused to see the reactions of these people. The people below all showed surprised expressions. They know that this is a military camp, and the prince asked them to learn the skills of killing the enemy. Is he really going to let them go to the battlefield? After hesitating for a moment, someone became more determined. Having said that, they are also willing to go to the battlefield. The soldiers died for the confidence. The prince treated them so well, and even taught them the ability to kill the enemy. On the battlefield, it is always just a death. At that time, if I kill one, it will be enough, and if I kill two, I will make a profit without losing money. This business will never lose. They all suffered from thieves and bandits, and they all wanted to tear their bones, eat their flesh, and drink their blood. In the past, I wanted to be a soldier and actually go to the battlefield to kill the enemy, but there was no way out. But now it is a good thing for them to be able to kill the enemy in an upright manner. The current military system is generally the military household system, that is to say, the father is a soldier. And the son must also be a soldier, so there is also the saying that father and son are in the army. Under normal circumstances, the common people cannot join the military household. Unless the soldiers are insufficient, then the government will come forward to force the common people to join the army. They know there are a lot of people who have been forcibly drafted into the army and don't see you as human at all. Not only do you need to do dirty work, but you will also be sent to be the vanguard. That is, a human cushion. Once the enemy charges down, he will basically lose his life. This is purely for the unarmed person to die. Therefore, many ordinary people will have resistance when they hear that the government is forced to recruit soldiers. They have been here for more than a month. They have not done anything except training every day. They are also uneasy. Listening to Ming Yu's words today has made them feel at ease. This prince asked you to learn these things. Not for you to go to the battlefield to die, but for you to learn the skills to protect your relatives and homes behind you, who robbed our sisters and wives. The heinous crimes they committed must be paid back, blood debts. You tell me, even if you die, you must do your best to protect your brothers and sisters, parents and relatives. Can you do it? Wang Si's heart is full of enthusiasm. To protect the village and his family, he must do it. thinking of the numb and despairing eyes under the dazzling sword. The villagers who were trampled under their horses and screamed and wailed, his heart could not be calm. Yes. Wang Si's mood was agitated, and he shouted loudly regardless. When everyone heard this sentence, they couldn't help shouting in unison, yes. Guard to death, blood for blood, guard for death, blood for blood. For a while, the field was full of passion. And all the recruits' emotions almost reached their peak. The audience on the outside of the arena was touched by this scene, and they were actually a little excited. Zhou Dandan even shouted. And Li Man glanced at him, but he didn't say anything after all. They were the Imperial Guards, and when they first became soldiers, they were full of blood, but after a long time, the blood at the beginning was wiped out by the Philistine in their bones. But now, why did the blood in his body that had been silent for a long time also start to stir up? Li Man looked around. His comrade's trembling fist and the light in his eyes all proved that everyone felt the same as him. It's just that their parents, wife and children are all in the capital. So he can't abandon his parents, wife and children just because of this blood? He squirmed his lips, but in the end, he didn't make a sound. This prince doesn't want you to die. You have to keep a useful body and do your best. So, you have to study hard and train hard, and only after you have learned the skills can you protect our Dayan's people and protect us. Drive out the thieves and bandits from Dayan's land. Then don't let others bully us. Drive out, everyone shouted hoarsely. Ming Yu squinted slightly and looked at this group of young people. These people are the hope of Liangzhou in the future. Although it is only a small fire now, a single spark can start a prairie fire. I believe it will not be long before these fires spread all over Liangzhou. At that time, it was the day when Liangzhou was peaceful and stable. Ming Yu waved his hand and signaled everyone to be quiet, and finally said, "This prince believes in you, and this prince can also promise you that this prince will protect Liangzhou as well, so that the people of Liangzhou will not suffer more in 5 years. Even 10 years later, this prince will give the people of Liangzhou a stable, peaceful, and prosperous living environment. This requires not only me, but everyone to create it together." Hearing Ming Yu's words, some people tear-filled their eyes. Can such Liangzhou really be realized? Will they really be able to see this day come? If so, then they will die without regret. Xie Yishou, who had just walked out of the training camp, heard the faint sound of movement. He stopped to listen, and then his facial expression softened, and the corner of his mouth even had a slight curvature. This Prince Duan, interesting. Where have the subordinates ever seen Xie Yishou's genial attitude? Almost all of them were taken aback at this moment. Is this still their General Xie? That cold-faced god of war? Could it be possessed by some evil spirit? Do you want to inform Master Wen to exorcise evil spirits? The soldiers' hearts were complicated and tangled. And Xie Yishou had already stridden onto the horse's back and galloped out. A few personal guards couldn't care less about the thoughts just now, and hurriedly chased after them. After this time with the soldiers in the training camp worked harder than ever before. Not only the new recruits, but even the veterans of the escort team, Shattuck, were full of breath and poured all their energy into the training ground. That day, Prince Duan specially trained these new recruits, which made the veterans of the escort a little upset. They have been following Prince Duan from the capital to come here. Not to mention other things, they have done their duty to protect the escort. There is no credit or hard work, right? But now there is no place for them in the eyes of the prince. These mudlegs have only been here for more than a month, and they have already received a different look from the prince. And they have also received encouragement and support from the prince. They have followed the prince for so long, and they have not received this treatment. They are also hot-blooded men. And they must not lose to these muddy legs. It is for this reason that they are also puffed up, just wanting to show them their own skills, so that they will know the heights of their tails. As long as they were still in Liangzhou for one day, the prince still needed them and had to rely on them. Soon after, don't you have to fight against the Red Robe army for drills? They have trained well, and when the exercise is over, as long as they can win the Red Robe army, the prince will also look at them with admiration. At this time, their thoughts have changed a little without knowing it. I don't want to go back to Beijing. I want to stay here and follow the prince to drive out the Yi people. Besides the rest, Zhou Dayan said what he had thought about for a long time. What, are you crazy? Someone exclaimed. What's wrong with Zhou Dayan, and he said such a thing? Li Man on the side did not show any surprise, as if he had expected him to say this. Zhou Dayan's expression was very firm, he thought, and finally decided. I'm not crazy, I think very clearly. When I was in the capital, I spent a lot of time, and my life was peaceful and worry-free. People live like this, but only after I got here did I realized the suffering of the people in the borderlands. I still remember the tragic situation in the village after being killed by the barbarians when I first came here. Also, look at those recruits, our comrades, which one of them has no blood feud with the barbarians? These days they have developed a lot of feelings with these newcomers. From the beginning, they looked down on them, but now they have become real brothers and sisters. Zhou Dayan's bold words made many people sigh, and some people began to be silent. Your Highness is right. The people of the borderlands are also the people of our Dayan country, and they are our brothers and sisters. Soldiers, who take the people as the foundation and promise the country with their bodies, are the greatest glory of the soldiers. Zhou Dayan's face was full of admiration. I'm a big old man and don't understand too much truth, but what the prince said really came to my heart. The people around nodded. When they heard this, no one was excited, but they calmed down. Few people like Zhou Dayan made a decision. Just, have you ever thought about fighting the barbarians? That can kill you at any time. Someone said worriedly. Zhou Dayan smiled naively, not caring about life and death at all. Many people looked at Li Man on the side, hoping that he could come out and persuade him. Li Man is full of flexible minds and always has a lot of ideas. Among them, he is the leader. And everyone believes in him, so everyone expects him to make up his mind on many things. At this time, Li Man didn't know what he was thinking. Until someone pulled his sleeve and then he came back to his senses. He glanced at the people around him, and finally his eyes fell on Zhou Dayan's fearless face. His heart trembled fiercely. Maybe it was a fearless person like Zhou Dayan who had the energy to show his pride and ambition. And when did these people become timid? When the young man was hot-blooded and drank heavily. He also put down his rhetoric, vowed to destroy the barbarian bandits, and gave Dayan Country a clean river and mountain. When he first entered the Imperial Guard, his blood had not cooled down. But now, he opened his mouth, his voice a little dry. Everyone has their own ideas, and no one can interfere with other people's decisions. Having said that, everyone's thoughts on Zhou Dayan's bold decision is still very regrettable. However, they didn't realize where the envy hidden in their hearts came from. People are fighting for a breath. And now the training ground is in full swing every day. The two sides do not give in to each other, and there is a faint competition. If you run 5 laps today, I will run 6 laps. If you train for 1 more hour, then I will train for 2 hours. Seeing such a situation, Mo Zhong didn't break it, and directly acquiesced to their competitive behavior. When Ming Yu got the news, he laughed like a fox. How can people make progress when there is competition? If you want to fight against the Red Robe army, you have to show the best state. So that he can spend so much effort in vain. Ming Yu had already handed over the entire exercise and confrontation plan to Xie Yishou. After Xie Yishou checked it, he confirmed that there was nothing missing. After consultation, the two sides decided to hold the exercise in half a month.